Hello? There's Shifra.
I know, but I got to figure out how to do it on my computer. I just told Fariba she's going to get on.
Ay, sorry, this is just not working out yet, but it will.
Right, I'm going to figure out how to do this.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being patient.
I have till 7:30.
Yeah, we'll try to make it as fast as possible.
Vivian, can you do me a favor? I'm going to go back in on Zoom, but it's going to ask for the ID number. Hold on a second. You have the ID number by any chance?
The number I have here.
Hold on a second. Okay, so what is the meeting ID number you have?
882335717.
5717.
882335717.
Let's see if that did it. There you are.
Okay, now you got to get off one. Just get off one because then it'll echo.
It's not echoing because the other one doesn't have sound.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
Oh my God, there's my face though.
Oh my God.
Photographed really nicely.
Okay, so let's see. There we go. Okay, let me copy this.
Hello.
Hi. Who's that?
Oh, that's me just practicing my.
Okay, there you go. Oh.
I almost triggered.
Where am I? Where are you? Awesome. Oh. One more time, please. Passport. Hey, Carla. Good evening. We got Passport. I don't know who that is.
That's me.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
Right.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to. I don't know why my phone is on the speaker. Is that better?
Yep.
Oh my God, it's on speaker. Hold on. How do I unspeaker it? Ay. Okay, hold on.
Oh no.
We have your Facebook page.
I know. I'm looking at that.
Okay.
No share. There it is. Share screen. Yoo-hoo!
Can you put it on the? There you go.
All right, let's get started because we only have a few minutes. So good.
I'm so sorry, guys. This is we're going through this baby thing.
Okay.
If you could see me, I don't even have any makeup on. I'm just like, okay. So, very good evening to everybody. And I just wanted to talk about creating a vessel for cash flow. We're going to skip through some stuff here so we can do it quickly. Let me take a deep breath.
So let me introduce you first, Marie.
Okay.
How about that? So I know everyone has worked with Marie Kletke. She's a friend of mine that I've worked with for a long time. And I would say the last 3 years? Mm-hmm. And whether we're in retreat or networking events, Marie is always a passionate advocate for financial wellness. Even for me, she's like my own financial advisor. She helped me through a lot of transactions the last few months, so thank you so much for that. And she always has these problem solving questions and skills, creativity, and resourcefulness to guide her clients in their decision making process. So not only does she handle the mental side of it, but the emotional wellness of the person as well and their beliefs about money. It also helps that Marie has over 25 years in real estate and mortgage as a broker and in personal finance as a financial consultant. Today, she will combine this background with her skill as a spiritual teacher and healer to share with us a timely topic: how to create a vessel for cash flow. So let's take it away.
Okay, so thank you for being patient with us today. Just a minor thing. My purpose is today is to create some awareness about cash flow, and not to go where people normally go when they talk about cash flow. Most people will say, whenever I ask them about their cash flow, they go, well, I don't care about cash flow because I'm not a business person. But cash flow is whether you're in business or not. And right now we're talking about personal cash flow. So what's the definition of cash flow? Well, simply, cash flow is money in and money out. So if you go into the internet and you type in cash flow, all you'll see is something related to business. But I want to show you how it applies to our personal finance. So the next question will be, what is a vessel? Well, a vessel, in simple terms, is a container. It's also called a bucket, or in some cases we say it's a money bucket or a money train. It's a wallet. It's a purse. So all of these are vessels. They contain money. So we're going to go over some ideas about creating the vessel. Okay, so based on this definition, you know that you have a vessel. Everybody has one, right? So there's no need to create one, it's there. So what's the problem then? So let's figure out what our vessel is like. That's one important thing a lot of people don't realize is they don't know what their vessel is like. So here, there's two bushels. There's a small one and a big one. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, let's say the small vessel is $1,500 a month, and the big vessel is $5,000 a month. So, so that's more than double. $5,000 a month is more than double 1,500. You are making 1,500, so you already created a vessel for that because that's what's coming in on a regular basis. And you want 5,000 a month, which is a bigger bushel. But if your bushel is the same size as the 1,500, you're not going to get 5,000. So you need to figure out how big is my cash flow vessel. The next slide, Vivian, is, are you comfortable with your vessel? Which one are you more comfortable with? Some people can't go to the bigger one because they're comfortable with the smaller one. If you're not comfortable with your smaller one, that's the only time you can progress to a bigger one. You have to be open to that one. The next slide shows is, are you happy with your vessel? Again, next slide, Vivian. If you're happy with your vessel, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it meets your needs, as long as it's for your highest good. But if it's not, if you need a bigger vessel, then you need to make some changes. So in this case, you can already see the vessel is really you. You are the one who is the vessel for your money flow going in and out. So what I wanted to look into was some severe warnings. You know, when the weather gets bad, they tell you, oh, severe warning, there's going to be a tornado. Well, these are severe warnings that you have some major cash flow issues that are about to explode. First one, your money runs out before the month ends. And by the way, a lot of this I experienced before I realized that I needed to make changes to change my cash flow. And so I teach this a lot. If your money runs out before the month ends, that means you have more time than money, and that's a problem. The next issue is your credit cards are always close to or over the limit. What happens with most people is when the month is longer than their money, is they realize that reach for the next best thing, which is for the credit cards. And so what happens? They create this vicious cycle where they're always using their credit cards when they have no money, and then they need another credit card and another credit card, and next thing you know, all the credit cards are maxed out. Another severe warning. Oh, did I just sneak cash flow? Okay. And if you look at that guy, can you please go back to that slide, Vivian?
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people in the stores like this. They're carrying multiple credit cards and they're holding on to ATM cards and they're trying to purchase. If you have that issue, you have a problem as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide. End of the month, your bank balance is zero a few days before payday, and you have no access to cash for emergencies. Another severe warning that you are in deep danger and facing a financial storm. The next slide shows that you experience financial stress on a regular basis. And it could be an empty wallet, it could be anything. It could be people knocking at your door, it could be a bill, but always having to experience financial stress on a regular basis. The next, what happens when you have financial stress? Well, or financial issues. What happens is you have financial stress or cash flow stress. And if you look at this, believe it or not, they did a study, CIO Insight did a study, and 61% of the respondents showed that they were stressed about their financial situation. 61%. That's a lot of people. And that's the reason why it's such a mission for me. And what happens is it affects our performance at work. And it creates another cycle for us because if we're not performing at work, then our employers don't want to pay us more or we don't get promoted, right? And so that is another issue. And then if you go into the next slide, Vivian, cash flow also, stress also leads to more stress. So you have stress with time management, there's lack of sleep, there's anxiety, there's depression, you have worry. And when you worry about everything, from bills to payments to debt to work to sending the kids to school or giving them an allowance, all of these mount up and leads to a lot of stress. What happens when we have too much stress? Well, the next slide shows it to you. You have physical pain and you have issues. So headaches, cold, heart disease, all of these are related to stress. And this is medical study after medical study showing that we have issues with stress. Let's go to the next slide. Which are the main causes? There's actually multiple causes. There's actually 15 causes of it's supposed to be negative, not positive cash flow. See, I'm such into positive cash flow. I even wrote positive when I meant negative. But the main causes of a negative cash flow that I see, first and foremost, is a flawed financial model or pattern. So the pattern that we have is the pattern that we see. This is the pattern that we saw when we were growing up. It's so ingrained in us. So if you had a parent or a relative that you admired and their wallet was always empty, guess what? You copied the same thing. Your wallet's always empty. All right? So I'm not going to dwell into that because you've heard that before. The model that we have is the model that we have, and we have to change it. A lack of or a defective income and spending plan. So some people have an income, all of us have an income and spending plan. Is it the hide under the sand plan where we don't worry about our finances? You just pay the bills as they come and the income as they come. We don't even know what our balances are. Or, so there's something wrong that's not working if we have all of those symptoms that we just saw. So there's also, so what causes negative cash flow to manifest in our life, right? That's really the question I wanted to ask people, because this is a different way of looking at negative cash flow. Okay, so let's look at that slide on invisible costs. Well, go to the next slide, Vivian, please.
Okay.
So I brought up that slide again with all the diseases. So you see the headaches, the hyperthyroid, the asthma, the stomach pain, and all of that, right? So notice if you, especially around the gut. So you have the asthma for the lungs, the skin rashes on the shoulder, stomach pain and digestive system, the weight gain, the back pain, the diabetes. And if you look to the right and you look at the chakras, those are the chakras in the bodies. These are called energy centers in the bodies. And by the way, these are already this is a widely accepted principle, even by the medical field, that these energy centers exist. And in fact, they're finding out a lot of things about this energy center, and there's a lot of verification that they are what they are. So you're noticing like the red chakra right there below the genital. That's the root chakra. And the orange one above that, that's the sacral chakra. That's between the belly button and the genital. The yellow one is your power chakra. That's between your belly button and your heart. Okay. These three chakras, they're in your gut area. And if you look, a lot of these diseases are in the gut. Headaches, migraines, and hyperthyroid, they all originate from the gut area. Even rashes and skin problems originate from the gut area. So a lot of things happen with these three chakras because these three chakras create manifestation. They allow cash flow to exist. So if we go to the next slide, let's look at the root chakra, for example. I just want to look at one chakra for now. And this is the general characteristics of a root chakra. I'm going really fast here because I don't want to go over the time that we had. But if you notice, it deals a lot with your satisfaction and comfort with career and money. It talks about career and money, safety and trust. It also deals with career and money. It talks about the grounding because you have to be really grounded in order to manifest things. And in your body, well, you got to be in your body. You got to be solidly in your body. You got to be grounded. That's what it means when we talk about being grounded. It's two things. One is being connected to the ground, and the other one is being completely connected to your body. Any traumas that you have affecting your ability to be relaxed or grounded, it shows up in this chakra and your overall self-esteem. So these are the general characteristics that come out in the root chakra. There's a lot more than this, but this is usually what we go by. That there's, trust me, there's really a lot more to it than just these. And if you look at the issues, if you go the next slide, Vivian, these are some of the issues from the root chakra. If you have an issue or a block in your chakra, if your chakra is not spinning right, the color isn't right, these are some of the things that will show up. So you either unhappy or stressed in your career or business. You have a constant, almost constant state of uncertainty. That means you're always unsure. You're unsure of yourself. You're unsure about making a decision. It shows up on this chakra. Whenever you have a difficult time making decisions, it shows up in this chakra as well. And this affects your financial success. Some people work so hard to achieve financial success and they wonder, why does it seem like it's not happening? Well, guess what? It's probably coming from your root chakra. Or like you feel like you don't belong, or you're not there, or you're half there, or you've ever had that bewildering experience where you're experiencing something, you're in the present, but you're not there. This is the chakra that deals with that. Or if you feel unsafe about your relationship or life, it's also on the chakra. So so this chakra is very, very important. So we know we've seen the challenges of cash flow and what can happen if our vessel doesn't fit our lifestyle, right? So Vivian asked me this question today. She says, what is the solution? That's the next slide, Vivian. What is the solution? And actually, there's four solutions, so I'm just going to present three for now. Solution number one is you match the cash flow to the size of the vessel. That means whatever goes out, whatever comes in must equal what's going out. You don't go over. You make everything fit. Okay, that's if you're comfortable and you don't want to grow. Not a bad idea. Number two, get a bigger vessel, get a bigger container, right? Which is very easy to say because you're going to say, like, Marie, yeah, right, get a bigger container. How the hell? Why is that a solution? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then solution number three, clear the vessel so more can flow into the vessel. So it's like anything. In if you have a glass of water and it's half full, if you can put more water in it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if the glass is full completely to the brim, no matter how much water you put in it, you can't put any more. It's going to spill out. And the same thing applies to you as a vessel. So if you have blocks, you have issues, you have things that are stuffed into your chakra, because that's part of you being a vessel. And the reason we talk about a lot about the chakra is because this, especially 1, 2, and 3, is this is the manifestation chakra. This is how things become a reality in your life. And you want money to be a reality in your life, right? So we need to clear it. Now, we have a lot of classes on how to clear the vessel, but it's not, obviously, if you're not experiencing cash flow in your life, the amount, especially the amount of cash flow that you want and the steady stream of cash flow that you want, it's not clear enough. Or there are some issues that you haven't resolved that are showing up in your chakra. So let me show you. I'm going to go straight into showing you what I can do for you. So to match the cash flow to the size of the vessel, that means you need to do some kind of a financial review. That means you need to look at your budget, you need to see what's coming in and match it to your expenses. To create a bigger vessel, that means, again, this is back to personal development and spiritual development because those two work hand in hand. And again, you just got to be a bigger vessel. You got to be a bigger person, so more, so you can take in more and allow things to manifest more. And then I just spoke about clearing the vessel. So here's what we can do for you. If you go to the next slide, Vivian. So this is figuring out how to match the cash flow to the vessel. So an hour of financial review where you and I will go over your inflow and outflow and figure out, hey, how can you make this match? Normally, people who do that are usually, accountants, CPAs, bookkeepers. When they do that, they charge per hour, and that's usually what they charge for an hour is about 250. So I'm just giving you the value. I'm not charging you that yet. Then I do a lot of chakra readings. So a lot of you don't know that because it's, we have Vivian, but you know what? Vivian's starting to get busy. And so I have to step up. And I realized that last year. I really had to step up. And I have been working in the background, working on stepping up, and I'm ready to come out. And believe me, I've done a lot of work, and I'm more than ready to do this with you. So I've been doing a lot of readings lately. Uh, and when I do a reading for a root, just for the 3 chakras, the value of that, what readers normally charge is about $99. To do a full reading, and the full reading includes it includes downloads, it includes looking. Sometimes when I see a block, the solution is already there. And Vivian does the same thing. When she sees a block, she tells you what the solution is sometimes, or she tells you this is the choice you need to make, because blocks are usually lessons that we need to learn in life. And the solution is there, but you still have to make a choice. And so that's what I can read as well. And if you need guidance on making that choice, I'll work with you on it. But normally, a full reading, that's at 249. Okay? So on this page alone, on my offer, it's 349. And you know, I could just do those two things, but it's not enough. Um, I wanted to do something that would really make a difference in your life and really show you that, and really allow you to really get into the solutions of things. So, next page, Vivian. So, I added these things. So, if you're in Southern California, because I need to access you physically, we'll do an iTovi scan. And the iTobi scan will allow you to see what oils you need to use to balance yourself. So the oils in this come in because you need to really be balanced. So balance is one oil that I would recommend. When we start working on your finances, definitely have lavender ready, or orange, or citrus. One of these happy oils, because you need to be calm and look at it in a neutral state, because no matter what we do, money is very emotional. And when I work with clients on money, I try to be as neutral as I can, even when they're emotional. But the more less emotional you are, the less tied to it you are, and less attached you are, the better for you, because you can make more solid decisions. And that's why I would suggest you have those oils ready. The frankincense on the top of the head that allows you to see things in a different light also helps. So the Itovi scan will also show you other things that you need to do to make yourself even more balanced. I will arrange an investment advisor to review whatever you have for your retirement package, or if you have some kind of an investment that involve anything but stock. Well, he can look at stock, but he really doesn't like to give you stock advice. But so I'll allow him to do 30 minutes, and I'll put it in as part of the package. The other thing that I would like to do for you is to give you a calculation of your net worth. Wouldn't you want to know how much you're worth on paper? Because learning what you're worth on paper is so important, because you can allow yourself to be worth more. So, majority of people in the United States are negative. Their worth is negative. So all their assets, you add all their assets and all their debts, and they're in the negative. The more positive your assets are, the better off you are, because you look good on paper. And believe me, you feel so much better because you have some kind of wealth. And that's a way that you can really see where you're going and how you're building your wealth. The other thing is, if you have family and you want to leave something for your family, you want to leave something for the future, or you want to leave something to a charity, you can't leave anything if you're in the negative net worth. There's nothing that's going to be left. You want to have something positive that you can leave to the world, you have to have a positive net worth. And a lot of people are really surprised with this, because sometimes they know that they're worth something, but they have no idea how much it is. And you can project. You can actually project if you already know what your current net worth. So normally, when a bookkeeper charges you for that, they'll charge you about 150 for that. And then if you have an estate planning strategy or you don't have one, um, I'll do a 20-minute free. I'll do a consult with you on that. And if needed, I'll bring in an estate planning attorney to sit with you for 20 minutes without charge to give you some guidance. So let's say you were thinking of doing a family trust, or you wanted to know about some kind of a will, and you just wanted some advice, some free advice for 20 minutes, then I'll arrange that for you. So the total value on this page alone of these things is $915. So this is the value that I want to bring for you today. So if you go to the next page, Vivian, so if I add those two pages together, it's 1,264. That's the value of what I want to bring to you. And then just hit down, right? The down arrow. So again, remember, solution one was to match the cash flow with the vessel. And the first part where we talked about the financial review and doing the chakra reading, we're talking about matching the cash flow to the vessel. You want to increase the size? then we also need to clear the chakra. That's part of it as well. And part of increasing the size is also knowing what is your net worth. And what is your net worth, and also seeing where your investments are going. That's solution number 2. Solution number 3, clear the vessel for more cash flow. And that's what I also want to do. If you want to do a full reading, that's going to be part of it. And remember I told you there were 4 solutions? Where there's a fourth solution. Solution number 4 is to increase the cash flow. And you notice there are stars on there. And there's several ways to increase the cash flow. One is you can start another business. Another way is you can get another job. But that's something, I put some stars in there, but that's something that we can talk about later, because we have opportunities for that where you can come in and earn some extra cash flow. So I put that all together and I figure I'd cut it in half, give you like a 50% discount. So that was going to be $549. But you know what? Vivian just came from Carlsbad and she told me that everything was 80% off. So, so I'm just gonna cut that down to that 1,264. Uh, I'm just gonna do it all of these in this package for 249. And you can even make 2 payments if you want, if it's tough for you. But I think that you're going to find, and the 249 will be a full reading for an hour. So you're getting a lot more value for your cash, to create your cash flow, than you would if you went to all these individual people, because I'm arranging all of these freebies. And God knows what other freebies I can put in there, because there's a lot. There's a lot more where they came from. Um, so if you're interested in doing this, that's the one page that I didn't get a chance to set up. I actually do have it set up. I just forgot to put the page on. Uh, how can I do this video?
So what we'll
Yeah.
do is we click that one and we just put 249. That's really a great deal.
Yeah.
There you go. Is that good?
Yeah, that was the plan. Now I figured I'd just do it for 249 because
Awesome. Thank you.
I wanted to really help everybody out in the new year.
Mhm.
And believe me, these are things that Vivian and I are even applying to ourselves. This is not an experiment on you. This has already been experimented on by myself, by Vivian, and other people. And I have been doing a lot of readings, and I'm noticing that 90% of the people have financial issues that show up on their chakra. In fact, not just mainly 1, 2, and 3, the chakras that I'm talking about, but sometimes it shows up even on the throat chakra and on the crown chakra. So if you have hidden issues or past life issues, it's going to show up there as well. But this doesn't mean that you only rely on your spiritual side
Mhm.
to manifest money. You have to do the work.
Correct.
You have to do the physical work, which means you have to take care of your finances as well. That's why I put this package together this way. That way it allows you to see, you put in the work, because the work is not just done by you, it's done by everybody. It's like the whole community coming together to help you.
And like, let's give people examples so they understand, like matching cash flow to the vessel. Now, some of you have so much potential. The thing is, you haven't owned your potential. That's the reason why your cash flow hasn't increased. So you know who I'm talking about. So if that's you, you got to step up. Increasing the size of your vessel. Some of you have invested so much money in education, but forgot to invest kind of in yourself because you haven't charged for what you're truly worth. That's an issue. So you have to increase the size of you, so that you are able to also enjoy, right, whatever money is coming in your life. And clearing the vessel for cash flow, I know that sounds like work, but you're really you're really clearing like 10 to 20 years of your life, or sometimes more once we start going into the past life issues. You're
Mm-hmm.
saving time. And when you save time, you're saving money and you're saving energy. That,
Right.
that for me is the single most important thing that allowed me to be where I am now. It's not all the education, because I studied long time ago, but and invested in a lot of money, but it's not that. It's more clearing the energy for you to be able to receive. And of course, increasing cash flow can mean increasing your offer, right? Increasing the value of what you offer because you could afford it.
Right.
And increasing your rates. That's part of increasing your cash flow. So, does anybody have specific questions? Do you have any particular issues with your financial life or even in your chakras? You can ask Marie that question. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Anybody?
So nobody has any financial issues at all, or real estate issues at all.
You can ask. Anybody can ask.
So if you have a question about price point, for instance, it's something that we can look at as well. Uh, I know Vivian and I have worked a lot. Um, and believe me, I've also applied, like I mentioned, I apply a lot of these things to myself. Let me give you a very serious example of opening up a vessel. So December is usually when Vivian and I work on our plan for 2017. And I sat down and I looked at what potential income I can make for the year 2017. And I came up with a 6-digit number, and I doubled it because I always do that. I'm like, oh, that even sounds so good, you know. And part of being who we are as who we are is a direct connection to the divine. And I heard this voice that said, you know what, just go all the way to 1 million. Just write 1 million on the paper and be done with it. And I'm like, are you serious? That was the conversation I was having with uh, I said, are you serious? 1 million? And then I had to ask myself, I said, am I ready for 1 million? Do I know what to do with 1 million? And the answer, myself, my higher self said yes. My inner self said yes. And myself here on this earth, talking to you said, yeah, that's really doable. That's very believable. So I wrote it down. This time I wrote it down in bold letters, like it's already reality. And as far as I was concerned, by the end of the year, that's going to happen. And I looked at where all the resource, and there was I could see most of it coming from all the resources, and it was still off. It was still off by 1/4 of it was still missing. And I'm like, where is the other 1/4 coming? And then I heard a voice saying, don't worry about it. You already wrote the number down. It's just a matter of getting it to manifest, right? So, what's missing in the whole thing? If you were listening to me today, it's in our topic today. What's missing? I have the vision, I had the intent, right? I had and then I said I had the resolve. I said okay, and then I said, oh, it's a reality. The only thing missing was the vessel.
Mhm.
And I felt as a vessel, I'm ready for it, right? Wow. We're talking about clearing the vessel, right?
Mhm.
So if you are husband and wife, your income is very much tied together. Your finances, the reality of what your finances are, is very much tied together. Within a week from the time I wrote that number down, things started to move to allow that to manifest itself.
Mhm.
The first thing that happened is is my husband was forced to retire, which meant that his income, which is about $250,000 a year, that changed. And then my role changed also. So now most people would be upset if that happened. Even my husband, before last year, if this happened in 2015, he would be insane by now if that happened. And it happened before Christmas. It happened before Christmas, right? There was no stress in the house. You can ask Vivian. No stress.
Mhm.
I had no stress at all because everything was in place. Because we can survive. We have cash reserves. Uh, we have money in the bank. We didn't have a problem at all with Christmas. I could still we still brought Christmas gifts. I still had Christmas dinner. It was so different from what it was like when Paul and I started our marriage when we had zero and we were always scrambling for money. We were not. I didn't feel like I needed to scramble for money. I didn't feel like all of a sudden I had to change my plans. My plans have not changed. My vision has not changed because now I feel the vessel is even bigger,
Mhm.
that there's more room for that million to manifest.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it went beyond a million. So if my chakras were not clear, if my mind wasn't clear, if there were a lot of things that were still stuck in me like it has been for the last year, I would be handling this very differently.
Okay.
So
I think
if,
Shifra had a question. Can you hear us now, Shifra?
go ahead, Chipra.
Um, okay. We can't hear you though.
Can she send her question in chat?
Shifra, can you send your question in chat? We can't hear you.
Now, can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go.
So this is going to be an off question. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to figure out how to see this. So I want to know how to have more cash flow in my doTERRA business
Mhm.
so that I can make doTERRA my vessel.
So, oh, go ahead, Marie.
Well, doTERRA is one of your systems to get things done. You are the vessel. You are the container for the cash. That's just like a way to create the cash. So that's why we're talking about clearing the vessel, clearing ourselves, and it's kind of really difficult to explain, but it's all about us. It's all about what's in our highest good. It's all about making sure everything is we're putting in the work. You got to put in effort, and the effort that you put in, it has to be very well directed. Does that make
Okay.
sense, Shipra?
It does.
So if you wanted to make doTERRA your focus, then that's something that we can discuss because there's some realities that you have to realize about creating doTERRA as your focus. However, you also have to be open. Let's say you wanted to make 50,000 from doTERRA this year, or you wanted to make 50,000, period. And then I ask you, well, how are you going to do that? I'm going to do that through doTERRA. There's a possibility that not all of that 50,000 is going to come from doTERRA. There's a possibility that most of it will come from doTERRA, but some of it won't necessarily come from doTERRA. And so we have to be open to that possibility.
Mhm.
Got
You
it.
have to allow, yeah, you have to allow the vessel, which is us, to be open to other sources of income because we limit ourselves sometimes. That's why there's a lot of people who are employed who only look at their source of income as their employment. And so when they come into a business like doTERRA or or any other business that they're doing on top of their employment income, they can't go beyond that. They can't seem to accept making extra income because their vessel is stuck on only one source, which is their job.
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. So we'll wrap up the evening tonight. Thank you so much for your patience. And again, the offer is only good tonight. Marie, where's the link? How did they?
Well, actually, I forgot to, I have a link, but I forgot. Everything is at home. I'm in the hospital still.
Okay.
So I'm going to extend the offer for 3 days.
Okay.
Okay. Send me an email
So,
if you're very interested and you need to do it on terms. Uh, the email would be healingoilsthatrock@gmail.com.
okay.
And just send me your name and your contact information and say, I'm ready to go. Just put on there, I'm ready to go. If you need payment arrangements, put it on there. Make your offer. I like to see that too, because it's a challenge. I want to see how you would handle it. That will say a lot about you, and you
Mhm.
never know where things could go.
Right.
And then I will send you the link.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see this chat. Yeah. Healing oils that rock. Okay. Perfect.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And on Wednesday night, we actually have a special guest, Lucy McMonigal. She is an abundance breakthrough coach. So any kind of money blocks or limiting beliefs that you have, we're going to be discussing that on Wednesday, and it's going to be at 6:30 p.m. So all of these classes are designed to help you clear your own self so that you can start working on your business, on your whatever business you're running, and your doTERRA business at the same time. Because when you combine those two forces together, we know that you will be successful in 2017. So we will send you the link on Wednesday. Oh, no, tonight or tomorrow, you'll get that Zoom link. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. And thank you so much for your patience. Have a good night.
Thank you and good
And
night.
thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.